Welcome to Duckphonics. We're working on beds today. This is the next sump. So I kind of see the system as working in pairs. You could actually break these pairs off and have them be a set, but one tank by itself doesn't have enough water, isn't a complete enough system in terms of having the carrying capacity to deal with things like fish. So ideally, according to some of the people that mentored me, you're looking at about 600 gallons minimum, and we're a little bit over 800 gallons here with these two tanks. If you're not focusing on raising fish, then that may not be that big of a deal. But what I wanted to look at today is how we're building the second sump. This one here was kind of like I was simulating building an emergency sump tank and system in the middle of nowhere, and just here's a bunch of materials, recycle them and make something out of it. So thanks to this Durascrim pond liner, it's pretty forgiving, but I did have problems with this plywood. The plywood's a little thin. It wanted to just bow out, and I just slowly added hardware until it stabilized itself. It was kind of a learning experience. That water's heavy and it really wants to move. Well, I don't think we're going to have any problems with this one. I suspect that this is going to bulge out a little bit in the middle. So we're going to have to work to tie that together. What we may do is just throw another piece of 2x6 or 2x8 down on the bottom of this and screw it together from the sides. Here's the screws that I'm using. I've built a lot of things with screws like this, and they have held up to some pretty fierce winds and other things that smaller screws probably wouldn't have held up to. I'll need to move the flooring down to match the length of this bed. You'll see that I offset, so I reversed how these boards lap. If I start seeing a little bit more wiggling, I may just go ahead and throw a couple more bolts like into this end right here to tie these things together even more than they are now. But ran out of screws, so I need to go run to the store and get some more screws. There'll be 5 on each side of each corner, and these screws don't really get them cost effective unless you buy them in a box of 50, so maybe we'll find something else. So get this thing finished screwing together, throw some Durascrim in there, contemplate the necessity for holding these sides together a little bit, and make the flooring match the sump. Do a little plumbing out the side here to connect these two sumps, so they can, just in case one gets a little bit more water than the other, they can level themselves out, and that helps the leveling capacity if the system, like we lose power or a pump goes out and the system goes to rest. We need someplace for all that water to go. So the way this system is set up is there should never be any water that's pumped out of tanks. There's no water being pumped out of tanks. They're just overflowing. So that should keep the fish alive. Everything else can kind of hang. I've had these beds sitting for a couple of weeks with no water running in them. They did just fine because there's a lot of moisture down at the bottom. And this type of lava rock really holds a lot of water and a lot of minerals. Anyway, people can see any fish. The fish have cleared up these tanks so well that you can actually see them through. I'm swimming up close to the edge of the sides now. So we have some goldfish and 2 different types of tilapia in these ponds now. The ponds are there just to help recycle the water. We're not growing fish, we're just making complete ecosystems so we can recycle everything. And after this sump goes in, we have one more big plumbing building project, and that will be moving some of these 30-gallon tanks, like this light one here, over to the other side here, and those will be used once we clean the gravel that's in there and get them into the rest of these beds here. Those will be used to give the ducks a place to come drink and swim, and all their water will be recycled through the system. So this sump here is going to be about 3 cubic yards of water if it's full, but that's its holding capacity. This one's a little smaller, probably like 2, and we'll be able to grow things in there as well. So one of the nice things about having a nice big sump is, hey, maybe we'll do some crustaceans.